Hello ladies, and welcome back to Thankful Thriftiness. Fall is in full swing here in Michigan, and it is definitely one of my favorite times of the year, not just because of the colors and the relief from the summer heat, but because it is project season. I get a whole new burst of creative energy during the autumn months, and today I want to share with you 2 easy, beautiful, and practical fall DIYs I have been enjoying lately. First off is a pumpkin-shaped loaf of bread. Now you can use any bread recipe that results in a fluffy round loaf. I'll link the one I make each week below. It's a sourdough recipe, but you could probably use any bread recipe you like, as long as at the end you get a round loaf that puffs up while in the oven. All you're going to need to usher in the season with an adorable little pumpkin-y loaf of bread is a ball of your bread dough, some butcher's twine, a cinnamon stick, and something to cut or score your bread with. I have a lamb. You could use just a very sharp knife as well. Right before it's time to place your bread in the oven, cut 4 pieces of butcher's twine equal in length, long enough so that they can be tied around your bread. Lay them out in this almost spiderweb formation, making sure that they all meet in the middle on top of your parchment paper. Then plop your bread dough on top. Dust your loaf with flour and begin tying the butcher's twine together. You're going to want to tie each string to itself and make sure that they meet in the center of your loaf. Don't tie this tightly, just snug. You don't need to cinch it. The baking will take care of forming the pumpkin for you. Now, I made the mistake at this point of using cotton yarn. It didn't burn, but there were some fuzzy bits left over on the bread dough once the project was finished, so use butcher's twine. It's definitely much more reliable, and you shouldn't have to worry about that being an issue. After you've tied all your strings together, trim any loose ends. We don't need those, and they'll just get in the way. Then it's time to score your bread dough. I did it in what I thought would be kind of this wheat pattern. You could do whatever you like. Look online for ideas. One loaf I did this pattern, and the other I literally just slashed one long cut, and it also turned out pretty cute. So just experiment and have fun. Then bake your bread according to the normal directions. Then when your bread is done baking and is fully cooled, remove your butcher's twine 1 string at a time. And place your cinnamon stick in the center of your loaf. The result is the most adorable little pumpkin-y loaf of bread. It would be even better if you actually made pumpkin-flavored bread for this little project. I think that would be so adorable and so fun. It can be sliced normally, or if it's a smaller loaf, people could tear off the sections of the pumpkin. It's really up to you. I'm just showing you how to shape a normal round loaf into that of a pumpkin. The next do-it-yourself project I want to share with you is making your own candles. This is very near and dear to my husband and my heart because for some reason we love burning candles during the fall and winter months. The peaceful little pools of light it creates, as well as the warm, inviting smell, just makes our home feel so much more cozy and inviting at the end of a long day. However, we do not like shelling out cash for candles because they seem a little overpriced. So we decided to make our own. To make your own candles at home for either burning on your own or giving away as gifts, you are going to need heat-proof containers. Make sure that it's heat resistant or heat proof. I don't know exactly what it's called because you don't want it to shatter the minute you light your candle. I used candle containers from old candles I had already used up. I boiled them in some water to remove any remaining wax and also removed any remaining parts of the wick. These little popsicle stick things with the holes in the center are for centering your wick while your candle is drying. Conveniently, these came in a kit with the wicks I purchased on Amazon, which I will link below. Use hot glue to fasten the wicks instead of the stickers that come with the wicks on Amazon. For some reason, they didn't work all that well. Finally, you're going to need your candle wax. This is the fun part because you get to pick out exactly what scent you would like. We enjoy purchasing ours from Swan Creek Candle Company. They're 100% made out of soybean wax, so they're definitely healthier for you, and you can't go wrong with their scents. They sell big containers of candle refill wax for about $15 a piece last time I checked. I will link their shop below. This is not sponsored in any way. I just highly recommend them and have enjoyed burning their wax melts and candles for years. To begin making your candles, you need to fasten the wicks to the bottom of your containers. I put a little dab of hot glue on the bottom of the wicks and poked them into the containers. I used either pliers or the little popsicle sticks to wiggle it around until it was perfectly centered and firmly in place. Then heat up your wax according to the directions. Mine was to simply place it in a bowl and then in the microwave. The bowl was in case any of the wax spilled out, for about 4 minutes. Afterward, I pulled it out, and as there were still some unmelted bits, I just stirred it until they all melted into one cohesive liquid. Sometimes instead of pouring directly from the large container, it's easier to pour it into a smaller plastic cup, so I highly recommend doing that before you fill up your candle containers. Then fill up your candle containers, making sure not to fill them up too much or overflow them. Next, if you haven't already placed your popsicle stick centering tool where it needs to be, place it on top of and use it to center the candle wick in your container. This is very important for drying because once it's dried, you can't move the wick. If you get a big container of wax, you should pretty easily be able to fill a bunch of little containers. I even used this little old flower pot, which I found made a perfect candle. Then all that's left to do is to let your candle sit for 24 hours before trimming the wicks. Now you have your own custom homemade candles for a fraction of the price of purchasing them elsewhere. Please let me know in the comments below projects you are looking forward to accomplishing this autumn. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Happy fall!